Welcome to Ploughman's Backyard. My name is Kendra and today we've got out our new incubator, the Chickcozy 25 egg incubator that we're going to be trying out for the first time. So one thing that I really like about this incubator that when we were working with the Amazon incubator, I actually added a slip mat, but this one comes with its very own slip mat. Perfect for when those chicks begin to hatch so that they're less prone to getting splayed leg. The thing about this, it's got a little shelf here that we can add our thermometer and our humidity reader into there, as well as it's got a little drawer on the outside to add the water so that you're not having to put it in little holes or just open the lid and add water itself. It's got a little handle on the top and it's see-through so you can watch your chicks hatch. Now typically you would want your egg incubator to be running for anywhere from 4 to 6 to even 12 hours just to get the temperature and humidity where you want it to be. But for the sake of the video, I can't have it plugged in while I'm recording and showing you what to do. So normally at home, you'd want to start your incubator off, just have it running before you put your eggs in. I'm just putting these turners in here, making sure they're the correct way. Next thing that I'm going to do before I put the eggs in is I'm going to actually add the water. When you're beginning incubation, you're just wanting to add the water into trough A, and you're wanting it to be about 3/4 full. So I'm just going to put some water into there. You don't want it full all the way. Typically when I add water to my incubators, I usually use warm water. And when you want higher humidity, you want it even warmer. But I'm just going to add some into here. We're not wanting to overfill that. Now, when you're putting your eggs in the incubator, in an incubator like this, you're wanting to make sure that you're putting your pointy end down, which would be this side. So you'd want it to be pointed like that. I don't know if I've got a better egg to show you that's a little bit more pointy than that one. So again, the pointy end is what you would want to be pointing down. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to fill up the incubator with our backyard eggs. We've got our 25 eggs. We even went and picked some. I think we got 5 from this morning, so some of them are quite fresh. Okay, so now that the eggs are in here, I'm just going to add the thermometer and the humidity reader just on the little shelf. It's the perfect little spot. I love that part. And just for the sake of being more specific with the temperature, we also have on the lid of the incubator itself, it'll tell you the temperature and stuff too. But I'm also going to put another one in here. Between the two of these, there's actually not really any difference with the temperature reading, but the humidity reading is about 6% difference, which is that's quite big too. But I'm just going to stick that in here as well. As you can see, it fits in there really nicely. Now's the time when I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to plug in this cord that's at the back, and I'm going to plug it into the top of the incubator lid. So this basically is for your egg turner. So you want to plug that in where it says egg turner at the back. And then we have our power supply, which is going to come from this one, and we'll plug that in as well. We also have some air vents at the side here, which is quite cool. Before I go ahead and we're going to move this over to get this incubator plugged in, I thought I would show you that this Cozy Chick incubator also comes with a little diagram to show you the process of what's going on in those 21 days of incubating and showing you what your egg should be looking like during the candling process. So typically with the candling, you want to maybe give it 5 to 7 days before you check or candle, but the longer you can wait, the better, because you don't want to lose that heat that's going on in your incubator. It shows you here, if you're not seeing any of these things formed when you're checking your eggs, it probably means your eggs are not fertile. And as you do your candling, you're going to remove the eggs that have no fertilization in them. So this is a really great thing that comes with this Chickcozy incubator. I thought it was quite cool, so I thought I'd show you that. This incubator also comes with a manual, and it is relatively simple to use. It's got pictures as a guideline. There's not a lot that is needed to run this incubator, but it's got some troubleshooting as well. I really like This manual, I've used other manuals in the past that were a little bit hard to decipher, but it's pretty straightforward, easy to read, and I love the diagrams that are in this manual as well. The other thing I thought that was really neat that comes with this incubator as well is the hatching calendar that Chickcozy did. And basically it has from day 1 to day 21, and you can keep track of the dates that you're doing, when to candle, when hatch day will be, what day lockdown should be, and you can make notes to maybe how many eggs you removed or how many were fertilized or just things that you noticed during those days. Maybe the temperature was too high one day, maybe you couldn't keep up with the humidity, maybe it was too low, maybe it was too high. But this is a great way of just kind of keeping track of your progress of your eggs, and it can probably help you for your next hatches, just knowing what to look out for. So this incubator is telling me for the whole 21 days to keep it at about 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit, which would be about 37.5 or 37.6 degrees Celsius. So typically I would do that. I would reduce the temperature when it comes down to lockdown day, but because it's saying to specifically keep it at that temperature, I want to follow the manual and just see how it goes. So that's what I'm going to do, is just keep that temperature set for that 99.5 Fahrenheit or that 37.5 or 6 degrees Celsius. And for your humidity, usually you want your humidity in your incubator to be anywhere from 40 to 50% humidity during your first 18 days of incubation. At that time, when lockdown comes, you want to make sure that your humidity level increases, because it's really going to help those chicks get out of those eggs and soften up those shells. So around day 18 to 21, you should be reading at about 65 to 70% humidity during those days. In order to increase your humidity levels, you may need to reduce the amount of times you're opening your vent, as well as increasing the amount of water you're going to be putting in your water troughs. Basically, the reason why they're telling you the temperature, what to set your temperature for your incubation, is because if you're having your temperature higher than 99.5 Fahrenheit, there becomes more of a chance and risk to your chicks not hatching or having health problems when they do hatch. So making sure that it's not too hot, but hot enough that they're properly incubated. It actually, the humidity level and the temperature of your incubator determines how healthy your chicks will be when they're born, as well as if they're actually going to develop into a chick. So keeping track of your temperature and your humidity is quite important when you're incubating. All right, so now we're just going to plug in the power supply to our incubator. Okay. And it has started. When you start your incubator, you want to have it running for a little bit at the beginning, but I didn't do that just for the sake of the video. This is the screen and what it looks like when I started up the incubator. It already has it set for 21 days of incubation is what we want for chicken eggs, as well as it's already set to auto for the automatic egg turner. As you can see, the temperature is only reading at about 70 degrees Fahrenheit right now, so we do have to get it up to 99.5. It's also reading the humidity level at about 68 or 69, and we want to make sure that we're going to bring that down. As you can see here, when you start your incubator, your eggs are going to end up on a slant. So before you even go ahead and put them in, like I said, I specifically did this over at the table so I could show you how everything is done just for the sake of the video. But when you start up your incubator, it's going to start up on its side. So what you're wanting to do is, you've got on this side here on the top of your incubator, you have just some manual buttons. So what you're wanting to do is if you press the up button, it's going to start to rotate the egg turners, and you press it again and it's actually going to stop them. And so when you're putting your eggs in, that's how you're wanting your position to your eggs to be in, and that's how you go ahead and do it. And so again, that was just the up arrow, pressed it twice and stopped it. So that is how you get your egg turners to be standing up upright when you're putting your eggs in while the incubator is on. There's also a day button up here, which you'll press, which won't be until your next incubation, because when your incubator comes, it's already preset for your 21 days for your incubating your chicken eggs. But when you go and you're done this incubating period, it's going to count down your days for you on the screen itself. And so when you're starting your next incubating cycle, that's when you would adjust your day to start it back at the 21 days for your next incubating cycle. So when you're wanting to restart your cycle of incubation, all you would do is press the day button plus the up button, and you're going to hold that for about 3 seconds, and then it's going to reset your incubator and start counting down from the 21st day again. Now, in order to candle the eggs, which we can do at about day 5 to 7 or day 14, or you can do it both days as well, is to turn the candler on. All you want to do is press the down button. So the Chickcozy Incubator manual actually suggests waiting until at least the 7th day of candling, and then again on the 14th day of candling. I've done it on the 5th day, but I guess the reason being is that it keeps the heat in that much longer for the development of your eggs to happen. This egg incubator actually manually turns the chicken eggs about once every hour. So now all we need to do is just wait for this to get up to temperature, and we're going to come back around the 7th day and try to candle some eggs and just see which ones are fertilized. But day 7 of the candling went really well. We actually removed, I want to say, about 4 or 5 eggs on this day of candling. We did come across some that were not fertilized, and we did have some that were definitely fertilized, as you can see in the video. We really liked this candler on this incubator. It was much brighter than our other incubators that we've used in the past. And the day 15 candling was awesome. There was a lot of movement going on in the fertilized eggs. We still had to remove a couple of unfertilized as they had stopped growing in the process between day 7 and day 15. But overall, the incubator's candler was really bright, and it made it really easy to see what was going on inside the eggs, and we were able to determine which eggs to remove from the incubator and which ones we decided to keep. So overall, we have been happy with the process so far up to date with this incubator. Looking forward to hatching day and seeing how many eggs hatched out of 25 eggs that we put in originally. All right, so we have reached the lockdown day. That is day 18 of incubating with our Chickcozy incubator. So what we need to do now is take out the eggs, take out the rollers, and put the eggs onto the non-slip mat and increase our humidity. So our humidity has been reading about 45 to 55% humidity for the entire incubation. Now for the lockdown day from day 18 to day 21, we're wanting that humidity to be around anywhere from 50 to 70 or 50 to 65. And we're wanting our temperature to remain at the 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit or the 37 degrees Celsius. So we're going to keep the temperature exactly the same, and we're wanting to increase our humidity for the last remaining days until these chicks hatch. The reason why we're wanting that humidity to come up is it's going to create moisture within the incubator, which is going to soften up these shells enough that the chicks can get out. If the atmosphere inside the incubator is not moist enough, these chicks will have a difficult time getting out of a very hard shell enough that the chicks can get out. The other thing is you don't want to have a shrink wrap chick, and that has happened more than once to me, where the humidity level tends to go down a little bit, and what happens is that chick breaks through the egg, and halfway through the process the air sac and the sac around the chick actually dries up and the chick cannot get out. So keeping that humidity level up is very important during the during the hatching time of this process. When you're touching your eggs, make sure you always wash your hands well before touching them. You're not wanting to bring bacteria into your incubator. They've gone this far, let's give them a good help to get on out in the next few days. So now what we're going to do is just kind of remove the eggs very carefully and put them on the non-slip mat. You want to do it fairly quickly just because you're not wanting to lose a lot of the heat. So I'm just going to transfer a couple of these eggs over into the next row so that I can go ahead and remove the roller one at a time. Removing these rollers. Okay, so we're just going to remove these. Set them aside. We don't need them anymore for this incubator, or for this incubation at least. And now we're just going to go ahead, we're going to take these eggs and we're going to just set them on the bottom. Now, if you forget this portion, it's not a huge deal, but what's going to happen when your eggs or when your chicks hatch, then they're going to be hatching on the rollers, and you don't want them to get any injuries with their legs or anything like that. So this just gives them the space to be able to move around and get out of their eggs freely, and you're going to want the space for them to, because they're going to move around quite a bit. I'm just going to shut that. We don't want to lose our heat so much. It already went down about 5.5 degrees. Okay, I'm just going to go through this way, and now I'm just going to keep removing these eggs in the rollers. On day 21, or sometimes even actually on day 20, you may actually even have your first chick hatch. It depends on how good of how far that chick is along in their incubation. Sometimes I've had them hatch on day 20. When they hatch, they can actually stay in this incubator for about 24 hours. Maybe even a little bit longer. You want your chicks, once they hatch, to be completely dried up. You don't want your chick to be damp and wet when you take it out of the incubator. So keeping it in here, this incubator is warm. It's a nice place. It's going to dry up, and the chick's going to eat some of the inside of its egg. So it has plenty of food. Don't worry about your chick starving or getting thirsty or anything within that 24 hours. Now, what I do like about this Chickcozy incubator is that it came with the non-slip mat. Some incubators do not come with that, and I actually just create my own non-slip mat. And the other thing that I really like about this is that we can watch the chicks hatch with this great see-through lid. I'm just so excited that we're going to watch the whole process. A lot of the other incubators that I've used actually have like a styrofoam base around them. The other really neat thing that you're going to start to hear around day 19 or 20 is you're going to hear your first little peeps. So you will hear them inside the egg before they even start hatching, and you're going to hear them start talking to you or to one another, and it's a pretty neat sound. You're going to think like, how can I hear them inside their eggs? But you will. That's going to be your first sign that hatching is getting close. Usually, I want to say 1 to 2 days. I'm just going to remove this second one because I don't need it anymore. I really like this one that we have here. It is reliable, so I don't really need to have this one. I find this one is actually not as reliable as this big one that we have here. But yeah, you're going to find that you're going to hear your chicks start to peep about maybe day 19 or 20, and you'll hear them subtly, but as they peck through their little shell, you'll hear them quite a lot more frequently. So now I'm just going to go and I'm going to grab some water because we need to increase the humidity. As you can see, the temperatures come down just because I had the lid open so long, as well as the humidity has come down. So I'm going to go. Now what I like to do is I like to add warm water to my incubator. For one, it raises up the temperature back up because I've had the lid off, and two, it increases the humidity level very quickly. All right, so we just need to open up. This is another great feature about the Chickcozy incubator, is that it just comes with this really easy fill for filling up the water. Now, what I've been doing in the past with filling up water, I've been probably putting water just in slot A about maybe once every 3 days, just to keep that humidity between around the 45 mark is where I've been trying to keep it. But now we're going to be filling all 3 troughs, and we're going to probably have to do it multiple times a day to keep up that humidity reading. So plan ahead for having chicks and incubating, because once lockdown day comes and hatch day, you need to keep monitoring your humidity level. So you have no other plans during lockdown time. All right, let's see. All right, it already went up. It's going up slowly. If I can just shut that in. So we are trying to keep this now around the 55 to 70. I want to say between 55 and 65 is where we want to keep it. If it goes above that, that's okay, but we do not want it going any lower than 50%. Absolutely nothing lower than 50%. That's it for the lockdown day. Now we'll bring you back when it's day 21 and these chicks are hatching. Well, chick day had arrived and we were so happy. We could watch the chicks hatch live. We have a video you can go and check out, and you can watch the chicks hatch live too. We ended up with 10 beautiful, healthy baby chicks. We were really happy with the incubator. There is a couple little things that perhaps I would change with it. If there was a little bit more room to add more water, I think I would have been a bit more happy. But overall, we were really happy with this incubator. The chicks turned out great. I have a beginner's guide to how to set up your chick brooder and everything you need to know when bringing home your baby chicks or hatching your baby chicks. Thanks for joining us once again at Ploughman's Backyard. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope that you stick around. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can see the next great chick videos that we have coming out.